This man is an absolute mess. Why is he still out here free?
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
A restraining order has just been filed against the father of Emmanuel Haro. Now, if you don't know about everything, please go check out all the videos I've been doing. There's been a lot of developing information. Things just keep on flooding. It's been absolutely crazy, coming out like a tidal wave, to be completely honest. But there's something else that has to do with something that happened in his past. Now, if you guys don't know, okay, Jake Haro was arrested and was convicted on felony charges that had to do with his 10-week-old daughter. She is now named Promise, okay? He did some very terrible things alongside his then wife, Vanessa. They both were charged and sent to prison for some time, a very short amount of time, which they should have been in there for a long time. Now, the thing is with Promise, the things that they did to her, there were so many wounds and et cetera on her, to the point where she can only use 3% of her brain. She can't talk. She's blind. She can't walk. Okay. She will be dependent on a person for the rest of her life. Her life was basically taken by those two, by Jake and Vanessa. Okay. He also has other children out there, and they are, they've all have their fair share of problems as well because of Vanessa's alcoholism and, of course, her substance abuse, for lack of a better term. Okay. Now, again, we've talked about what he did to this 10-week-old girl. Okay. And now we know who she is and what's going on. But there's something more going on here. Okay. A restraining order has been filed. And I'm telling you right now, all of this is going to make sense. Okay. It's all, even with when it comes to Promise and everything that happened to her, all of it is going to make sense here in just a little bit. But he had a previous wife, okay? Just follow me for a second. He had a previous wife before Rebecca, before Vanessa, there was Isabel Gonzalez, okay? Isabel Gonzalez just filed a DV restraining order against Jake Haro just a little bit ago. This is brand new, okay? And she is basically saying she wants protection against Jake, protecting her and their son that they made together, Eli. Now, this is also some very important information. Eli was the one playing football. They were all together watching the football game. Remember the infamous football game that Rebecca allegedly left with Emmanuel to go to Big Five sporting goods store to get the mouth guard. But unfortunately, something tragic happened. She had the tragic fall and she tragically lost Emmanuel, right? And the guy who tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Hola," taking the kid. All that stuff happened. But what's interesting about all this is that she claims, we now get information that Isabel, who was at the football game watching Eli play football, is standing there alongside Jake. She claims she did not see Emmanuel at the football game, that he was never to be seen. Now, again, grandma's been out here speaking a lot. And she even said the reason why no one saw the kid at the football game is because Rebecca was saying the kid wasn't vaccinated. So she was really worried about the kid being around other people, given the fact that he didn't get the poke yet. Okay, he didn't get the shots yet, which is also very interesting as well. So no one saw the baby, okay? And that's what we're also hearing from other people at the football game, that there was never any sighting of Emmanuel alive and breathing, right? So again, this is all very, very interesting stuff. And I'm sorry for coming to you guys with just giving you all this information right out the gate, but I just want to give it to you guys before we go into this article. Again, this is very, very nuts. The other part with Isabel claims that while he was married to his second wife, Vanessa, the other monster that did these terrible things to Promise, and now Promise is bound to a wheelchair and basically, hate to say it, but a vegetable. Basically, it's terrible. Okay. They apparently mistreated Eli too, leaving him by himself, unattended at age 3 years old, leaving water and food on tables so that they can go out and do their thing, leaving him all by himself to fend for himself for hours on end. This is not what parenting is. This is not what you do, okay? Especially, I mean, regardless, but most importantly, when it's a 3-year-old, okay? But they would just leave and let the kid do whatever they wanted, which is absolutely insane, okay? These are all claims that were coming from Isabel Gonzalez, okay? And rightfully so. She puts out a seeking protection for her and for her son, because this guy is an absolute freaking monster. And I think we all know that now. Now, we got to get into this article, okay? Because again, a DV restraining order has been filed against Jake Haro. And I'm telling you right now, what does that tell you? Does it seem like he's a nice guy? Does it seem like he's an innocent dude? Oh, don't worry, I'll answer it for you. No, it doesn't seem like that. Hell to the no, hell no. It doesn't seem like he's a good man. This is a monster. And I still don't know how he was able to get out of prison after, what, 6 months? To be a father again and again and again and again. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild to me. But here it is, okay? Court documents reviewed by News Channel 3 show that Isabel Gonzalez has filed a DV restraining order against her ex-husband, Jake Haro. The request, filed August 19th in Riverside Family Court, also seeks protection for the couple's son. She wants nothing to do. She wants him as far away from her kid as possible. And again, isn't this a little bit of a heads up? Isn't this a kind of a hint that she believes that Jake has something to do with the disappearance of Emmanuel? I'm just saying. Instantly, on the 19th, 5 days after this kid is reported missing and police are side-eyeing the hell out of these two, Rebecca and Jake, she files a DV restraining order instead of going online and being like, let's find Emmanuel. Nope. She files a DV restraining order immediately to protect her own kid. It's a dead giveaway, in my personal opinion. Dead-ash giveaway. So according to the court filings, Haro and Gonzalez married in 2016 before divorcing later that year. So it was a quick one, all right? From 2016 to 2019, the two were involved in an ongoing custody dispute. Court documents also obtained by News Channel 3 show Haro was convicted, which we already know about this, of cruelty, okay, to a little, stemming from a case in 2018. Remember, he dropped the baby, all that stuff. Crackle in the back, all that stuff. It's so bad. Just go back to that other video, and don't worry, I'll have it pinned up here so you could just click on it and just take a trip down memory lane. The information is shocking, okay? So he was sentenced to probation, jail time through a work release program. A work release program. You know what that means, right? And then he, of course, so he was able to breathe in some of this freedom air to a certain extent, which is wild, okay? But then he was also ordered to do a treatment program, okay? So while still on probation in 2024, he was arrested in Banning because he was charged with illegally possessing a pew-pew with ammunition, okay? The case remains active in the Riverside County Superior Court. The restraining order filing adds another layer to his ongoing legal challenges, which now span family and criminal courts. He is doing he doing the most. Long story short, he is doing the most. But let's go over to Channel 3 News with the report. Let's take a listen.
Huddled in Cabazon in front of the Haro home. Remember, we showed you the pair of the first people that came up and hanged this "Justice for Baby Emmanuel Haro" sign. Well, people have been making additions this morning, and it's grown a lot. You can see balloons. We have teddy bears that are placed here. It's a reminder of what this story is all about. New today, News Channel 3 has confirmed through court documents that there was a restraining order filed by the ex-wife of Jake Haro on August 19th. Those details are up on our website right now. Stick with News Channel 3 as we continue the frantic search for missing Emmanuel Haro.
Now, I'm telling you right now, Jake and Rebecca have a lot of explaining to do, Okay? They have a lot to explain because they are absolutely screwed. Okay? Now, Rebecca doesn't have as much of a tarnished, messed up past as Jake does. Okay? Because Jake went to prison for certain things. Okay? He was convicted. He is a convicted felon for what he did to Precious Promise. Okay? And I'm still shocked that he's out here to be able to do what he wants. He basically took that young girl's life. He took that young girl's life. I hate to say that with so much passion, but I'm angry about this. You don't do these things to littles. And he's still out here being able to sire more children and continue to do the same thing to other kids. Because I guarantee you, he did this same thing to Emmanuel. That's what I think. I think maybe he did the same thing. That maybe this kid was a healthy, beautiful, bouncing baby boy. And because of his volatile acts, his anger, and his rage, he did what he did. He did the same thing to Emmanuel like he did to Promise. The only thing is that he just didn't get caught yet. But now you got a little boy gone because maybe his rage went too far. And maybe in this situation, Rebecca either was a part of that rage or was a prisoner to that rage and allowed him to treat this young boy in such a fashion to the point where it went too far, and now this young boy is nowhere to be found. It's just something to think about, guys. It's just something to think about. But anyway, guys, as you guys hear, you got a ex trying to protect herself and her son, trying to distance herself legally from this man. That tells you something. Instead of being like, yeah, we didn't work out, but he's a good man. He a good man. He a good father. No, she's like, no, let me pounce on this because this man is volatile. Because she knows a lot. She probably experienced a lot. And she's probably one of the lucky ones that got away from the clutches of a monster like Jake Haro. Anyway, that's the video. I'm getting heated. Woo! I'm getting heated. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. And we'll be talking here very soon. Much love to you guys. Hug your loved ones if you got them. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.